Happy New Year. Welcome to 2026 from Christmas Eve 2025. This is Used Machinery Challenge on Panhandle Caprock and Farming Simulator 25. So now let's check the used sale. Uh, oh, a forage header. Nothing of any real use to me there. Okay. We're up to 43,000. Let's see how much wood is left out here in the sawmill. Yeah, it still has 60,000 wood in it, so I don't need any more wood today. Oats are looking good. They're not yielding the best since I didn't have soil data before I limed and fertilized the field. And of course, I wasn't able to plow it or to roll it, but I'm still getting up to 100, between 82% to 100% yield. I'm just not getting the bonus yield. Oh, looks like there's some crops ready to harvest. Now, what does this silo use? All right, this silo can take wheat, corn, canola, sugar beet. Okay. So let's check contracts. I have a baling contract for square bales. That's pretty cool. A fertilizing contract. Peas, spinach. Yeah, I can't harvest peas or spinach. I can do this baling contract, and yeah, since that's right across this road from me, I'm gonna go ahead and do this baling contract. This map really seems to favor the vegetables over the greens. Traffic is heavy right now. I have to do the baling contract myself since the worker can't bale. We can kind of trick them into baling, I think. But here we go. Baling started. I'll be back when this is done. Okay, baling contract is done. And mission was collected. Alright, let's see what we have for harvesting. Oats! Yes! Field 13. Peas and spinach. Alright. And I get to walk away with a couple bales of straw as an extra bonus. Yay! Alright. Now I'm going to build a windmill. I don't know why this windmill is more expensive than this one or this one. But I'm going to operate, probably falsely, off the idea that it's bigger. It's more expensive because it has more production cycles. Hmm. I think it's time I just line up all my implements over here out of the way. Or where they'll be ostensibly out of the way anyway. Me just leaving stuff wherever is causing too many problems right now. So, alright. 13. Let's go. Ah! Well, I can't start harvesting in the rain, but I can at least stage up in the rain. And something just popped into the used sale. Let's check, see what that is. Oh, it's a windrower for onions. That's something I might consider growing at some point. Yeah, in real world, whenever I try to do something like this, like pull off the side to let traffic go through, people end up just shooting right in there and getting in my way because they don't understand, you know, I was doing that just to give them the chance to get through. What the fuck am I gonna do now? All I need is somebody to come up behind me. Don't turn. No, you turned. Yeah, because the way cars here in the game will just come right up to you and just stare at you, just sit in your way staring at you. Oh, fuck. Can I get to the end before he does? They do that in real life, too. Oh, thank God those two ran into each other. So they're going to block the bridge down there from that end. Look at this idiot here. Seriously. Don't get across this bridge soon. The traffic's going to be backed up to the bridge. Okay, it's no longer physically possible for me to cross this bridge. fact, I have no way out of here whatsoever. I'm completely trapped. I think what I'm gonna do is try to get far enough away in the tractor for traffic to despawn. Okay. I'm gonna play the real farmer trick of having your buddy block the road for you. I think this just illustrates that I really need a header trailer. Alright, I'll go see what my wife wants while I wait for this rain to pass. I'll be back once I can start harvesting. Okay, I'm back. It's still raining. Since it's Christmas Eve, my son is going up to be with his bio dad tomorrow, so we had our Christmas dinner today. My wife just asked me for some leftover to bring her some leftover turkey. And she said she wanted she only wanted white meat. I'm like, that's fine. I can bring you only white meat. And then she immediately responded with, well, why can't I have dark meat too? I'm like, because you just said you only wanted white meat. Yeah, but then you said I can't have dark meat. Oh, oh, the joys. But while it's raining, there that field that I baled is now got a contract for cultivating on it. So I'm going to cultivate it while it rains, and then I'll come back and do this harvesting contract. But if I'm harvesting oats today for other farmers, that means I'll probably be harvesting my oats tomorrow. There's my cultivator. Yeah, I need to get this organized. Okay, there's a round baler in the sale now. But since it's not a New Holland, and I already have a really good square baler, I don't see much point in getting a round baler as well. There's some value because that'll let me to do round baling contracts, but I don't think that's enough of a value to put the money into it right now. Now, as long as I still got another $400,000 worth of debt to pay off. Alright, I'll be back when this contract is done. Okay. Well, this contract is done. And it's still raining. We're up to 2 o'clock in the afternoon now. This is getting kind of worrying. Let's see. That's just the same type I've already got. I need a planter instead of a seeder. Actually, I should say I need a planter to go with my seeder, not instead of my seeder. Let's go ahead and collect this contract. And let's check weather. Alright. Looks like the rain is about to end. So, is there any other contracts available that I can pick up? Fertilizing. Spinach, peas, spinach, peas. I can do this fertilizing contract. I think for the time being, I'm just gonna spend some time organizing my yard. Okay, I'll lock the steering axle. It makes this thing much easier to back up that way. Once again, I'm gonna lock the steering axle so that it's easier to back up. Gotta make sure I stay clear of those oak trees I planted. And of course the wife is bothering me again, so I'll be right back. Alright, go back to organizing my yard now. I like a cat. Alright. Cat jumped up to say hello. I think I'm gonna add some beef cattle here to the operation pretty soon. So, let's see. Total mixed ration. Yeah, I got everything I need in there to make some TMR. So I think I shall make some TMR. Then a Polish windmill. I'm gonna start making oat flour. Store that. I really wish this front loader would fit this tractor, but it don't. Yeah, this tractor's just a little too big. I'll need the combine to move that. Coon, HR 4040 and Ventra 4030. I believe that's a baler. Let's check. It is... no. It's the cedar I saw earlier. So what I'm looking for now is a planter, a water barrel, a New Holland tractor, a header trailer, seriously, this range should be ending soon. Now, how much is it to build a stock trailer? Would be nice too. I don't see any sort of a fence around that though. I can do this, but I don't have... That's just not big enough for 20 cattle. Ah, this is better. Okay. Where is my trailer? Oh, it's right. My trailer's off over. Well, it looks like I'm going to have some time, so I'm going to go get my trailer and put some TMR into my new cow shed. Then I'll bite the delivery cost and get some cattle brought in. It's gonna be beef, of course. Selfish people. Obviously, I wasn't just stopping in the middle of the road for the fun of it, but... Food, corn... This ain't a huge amount, but it'll be enough to get started. It'd be a very broken production if this was a huge amount for how short of a time it's been there. I was backing up to the wrong trigger there. Although tell me this is going to be one of those where there's some husbandries that get very, very picky about where you dump. There it goes. Food to them at. That's the reason why I discontinued the South American map, the cloth Mongol map series, was just because all my damn sheep pens were being so picky about trying to get food into them. It wasn't worth the frustration. The enjoyment has to exceed the frustration. All right, Brown Swiss, that's dairy. Holstein is dairy. Limousine is a beef brand. That's kind of more of a European beef. Very good cow. Water Buffalo ain't worth my time. Angus is like the standard American beef cow. Once again, it's, a pretty good cow. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It is the standard for a reason. But I think I'm going to go with the Highland cattle. These truly are not as good as Limousine or Angus for being beef cattle, but they're very pasture friendly. You don't have to give them grain. They will thrive on grass and hay only. They will thrive on being grass fed. All right. There we go. So I got a whole pasture full of young Highland. Plus you can market their meat as being, premium instead of standard. Of course, my personal choice is the Belted Galloway, but Wagyu is very popular, but it's so overrated. And then you'll get like Wagyu hamburger. Now, Arby's was doing this for a while. Wagyu beef hamburgers. Well, by the time you grind the meat up, and you're mixing the lean meat with the fat, it don't matter what breed of cow it was, because you're already getting enough lean meat and fat mixture. What makes Wagyu beef and even any other type of good beef good is the marbling. That's the mixing of the fat into the muscle tissue. So if you're just grinding it and mixing them lean meat and, fat, don't matter what it is, you can have that ideal, fat to lean ratio. Alright, I'm back to waiting for this rain to stop. Yeah, it was supposed to have stopped like 3 hours ago. I guess this is real world farmer issues. Because if it don't stop soon, I'm going to be harvesting these oats at night. Okay, we're finally in business. That took forever and a day. While I often hand off the work to workers, especially if I'm using too small of a piece of equipment on the field, I do sometimes just like to run it myself. Or pretend to run it myself, I should say. Maybe someday I'll actually get a chance to drive a combine for real. All I've ever done with a combine so far is drug a broken down piece of junk out of the woods to be hauled away for scrap metal. Occasionally on Marketplace I'll see like the whole line on combines pop up really cheap. And sometimes I think about trying to go ahead and get one. Because one of the things I want to do on my farm is start growing my own feed. In order to do that, I'm going to have to defeat the knotweed. There's only 10 acres here. Half of that is devoted to the horse rescue, which technically has nothing to do with me. That's my mother's thing. And then half of what remains is swampy woods, which it's fine, you can run pigs in that. And then of all that remains is the area that can be planted to crop of some sort, and most of that area is just choked with knotweed. Yeah, this New Holland TX62 is handling this Cross Dominator header pretty well. May eventually need a bigger combine, but for now, this one is working good. Although I think I would like better matching of my headers to my machine. Check for traffic. That's coming this way. Some of this will undoubtedly end up back at my windmill. Which is kind of the plan. The reason why I was wanting to do harvesting contracts. Yeah, and that trailer works okay. I was kind of concerned about with how big of a trailer it is. Sometimes you can have too big of a trailer with too small of a combine, and the combine will have a hard time getting the pipe high enough to load into it. Especially with the one that's one size down from this, the TX32. And that base game Massey Ferguson, that's the cheapest combine, also has that problem. I'll be back once I have this contract, once the harvesting is done, and I'm going to the grain mill. Okay, the harvesting is done. Let's see if I can make it back to the farm okay. When I was coming here, all the traffic was coming from this side. So, going back, as long as the traffic stays coming from this side of the bridge, I'll be fine. It'll just be behind me instead of in front of me. It's 6 o'clock already, so bit of a late night. It wouldn't have been if it hadn't been for that damn rain. a school bus behind me, but I think I made it. Oh, come on. Oh, man. Seriously? At the very, very last minute. There we go. Get out of the way. Alright. Combine safely home. So now, let's get these oats delivered. I'm gonna start dumping them into the grain mill, and then as soon as I see my money start moving, I'm gonna board the unload and take the rest back to my farm and put it in my windmill. And then tomorrow I should be harvesting my own oats and putting those in my windmill. Then I think I will join my fields together. Well, there certainly isn't a whole bunch of surplus oats, but I guess it is some surplus oats. So I'll take it. Okay, that's collected. Do a quick last check of the used sale. And nothing new there. Not sure what just cut was imposed a construction cost, but something did. Alright, I'm going to end this episode right here. Thank you very much for watching.